hard thing because
It is.
some of them have had they've been lucky enough that they've still managed to keep their family and
Yes.
belong and have
Yes.
that strong sense, where others have been ripped, as you said, ripped from it, and then they've tried to come back because everyone wants to belong, whether you're Aboriginal or non-Aboriginal, whoever you are, you want a sense of belonging.
Yep.
But if you've had 10 years or 20 years where you've been somewhere completely different, in a completely different culture, sometimes it's difficult. And you just feel, I imagine you would feel,
Yeah,
you're drifting off in the wind. You'd have no ties to hold you down.
Absolutely
It'd be so hard.
core. It is absolutely core to your sense of who you are and your identity as to whether or not you feel that you belong and whether or not you feel that you're loved. And if that is disturbed in the early years of your childhood, it's irrevocably broken, and it is a hole that cannot be filled, and you simply have to learn to live without it being filled, and you have to like plank over it, if you will, and pretend it's not there, but it's always there. It
That's what I
doesn't
mean.
go away.
So these people have had to deal with that.
On top of massive, not persecution, but prejudice and everything else that comes with it, and and I think that this film deals with quite a lot of that, and it does it in a very sensitive way. It's not really trying to beat white people over the head or anything like that, and I don't think people would feel uncomfortable watching this film. But I thought it was done very intelligently. I thought it was done with great humour, and it's such a relief. And I think that they were smart in making it a comedy.
That's what I mean. It was smart because with comedies, people can discuss topics that otherwise they wouldn't be allowed to discuss because people would go, oh, I'm sorry, that's just too hardcore for me. Where in a comedy you can go, well, yeah, that's done funny, but now I can actually think about it and go, oh, actually, yeah. So I find, I know it sounds terrible, but I find sometimes in a comedy sense it gives you a chance to think about different topics that normally you wouldn't even touch.
I just realized we just operated on a great deal of assumed knowledge then on what we were talking about then. To people who are overseas, Australia in the 1960s had a policy in the early 70s.
Oh, yes, sorry. I should explain that.
It just struck me then. We had a policy where we were taking away Aboriginal kids from their mothers and fathers.
And families.
And these were families
Tribes.
that weren't necessarily dysfunctional or anything like that. They were happy families. And we were ripping them away from them and then settling those children with white families in order to
teach them our ways.
Assimilation. And so consequently, I would almost go as far to say that it's just a soft genocide in order to break up the culture. If you have got a culture that is alive and vibrant,
and you take away all the children.
Yep.
You've got no new blood, that's it.
You're chipping underneath them, and that's the great crime. And we should, this is not the distant past. This is the 60s.
There are people still alive this happened to.
Yeah, absolutely. And
70s as well.
I think that this movie approaches it really, really well. I think Rabbit Proof Fence is another film that addresses more directly.
We'll have to look at that at some point.
Yeah, but, look, I do have a grief with this movie. Don't get me wrong. And this is purely a technical thing.
Go for it.
Right, okay. The war section. Okay.
Oh, I feel a headache coming on. Yes.
The shit CGI in that, I'm sorry, but that was shit.
Budget, Paul. Aussie film budget.
I don't care. What I would suggest...
It was shot in Vietnam.
I don't doubt it.
Okay,
I don't doubt it, yeah.
Those scenes
have been there, and it looked very, very Vietnamese-y.
Okay.
Yes.
Vietnamese-y.
Well, it's as good a word as any other. I'm sorry if it sounds mildly racist.
No. I'm just waiting for the dictionary to come out.
Vietnamese-y. I'm sorry, but look, what's another word?
No. Keep going. Vietnamese-y. It looks Vietnamese-y.
Okay, thank you. Look, it was, but look, I'll tell you what. They've had the technology for ages where you just put little like pouches of gunpowder under your skin and it blows through your shirt sort of thing. This technology's been around for decades, and then they tried to fuck ass around with the CGI, and it just looked shit. It looked terrible.
Okay.
And that's
the
my
bullet wounds did not look decent.
Thank you.
Right.
Yes.
Is that what we're getting at?
I'm just saying
the war aspect they should have thought about a bit more the way it looked and was filmed.
Only the action sequence.
You're right.
Okay, and that's all it is, and it's going to lose half a mark for that.
Oh, okay.
I take that stuff seriously, as you know. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, but putting that to one side, now I've got that off my chest. Thank you. Look, I thought the music was fantastic in it. Very, very good.
Again, it's got lots of music in it.
Lots of soul in it. And I'll tell you, the girls were good actors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anybody? Whose performance did you enjoy the most?
Well, Deborah Mailman's always I think she's a great actress. I thought her scenes with Chris O'Dowd were awesome.
Yeah, like I got that she was the mama bear, as it were, sort of thing, and she was very in your face and angry and everything like that, and understandably so.
No, she did a good job of that.
Maybe the script could have done with a little bit of tweaking on that sort of thing, because...
in what way?
I'm going to get in trouble here.
When has that ever stopped you?
No, I know. But I really struggle when I see a character that people shouldn't like. Do you know what I mean? Like, she was being quite abrasive towards him, and she didn't really give him very much in return for him to suddenly fall for her.
I think he liked her abrasiveness. He liked her strength. He said that about her.
I know, and we've had many arguments where you have scratched your head over various different characters and how their motivations, as it were.
So in other words, you didn't see why he would be into her.
Yeah, look, I struggled a little bit with that, but if, let's let it go through to the keeper, that's fine.
Yep.
But yeah, it kind of just thought, well, maybe she's just not my type, I don't know. But she was very, like, in your face, and I don't think she gave enough of the softer side of herself
to him to warrant that.
To warrant him, suddenly falling for her.
Okay, I found, because he played the dad role and she played the mum role, that they kind of immediately sort of went to each other anyway.
Yes, okay, so all right. Once again, I'm being a judgmental monster.
That's okay, and
I do that a lot.
And Jessica Mauboy's a great singer.
Oh,
isn't she talented?
The singing in that was excellent, wasn't it? Yep, really, really good.
No, I thought all of them did a great job.
It had a real spiritual thing about it, didn't it? And like in what I mean by the old African spiritual singing of the
soul,
late 19th century sort of thing, early 20th. No,
the music was awesome, and the storyline was
quite good.
It was good.
Yes, but I love the acceptance at the end. I think it concluded very well without giving too much away.
Yeah.
If you want to go and see a film, it's a happy ending film. It is a happy
ending film.
And question, did he lose his leg or was he just on crutches?
No, he's just on crutches.
Okay. I couldn't quite tell, and my glasses were all kind of fogging up from all the insipid crying and everything.
No. Which I found a bit weird because I thought he got shot in the shoulder. But
did you?
Yeah, I obviously wasn't paying attention
properly. Well, that'd show you how good that CGI was. I couldn't tell. Yes, he got shot fair in the...
Yeah.
Yeah, look, very good. What? So would you... Would you recommend it to people, first of all?
I would.
Yes.
I think it's a good Aussie film.
Yes.
I mean, because we've talked about this where some of our Aussie films aren't great. But this one I would suggest to other people and say, yeah, you should watch it.
Yep.
And it's not too hardcore. It does talk about certain topics and show a few different topics, but it's not too hardcore about it.
Right.
It's done in a fairly soft way.
Yes.
Which can start you off for any other film. Can
I bring attention to what I thought was the standout performance of the entire film?
Who's that?
Well, I thought Evil Henchman number 2 did a superb job. The way he was able to push past and drive his elbow into that woman's face, I thought that was excellent. That was really well done. Malcolm Goldsmith, I believe his name is.
Put his last name out there.
No, well, it's on the titles.
It's going to be on the titles,
Yes, if you want to go and look it up, Evil Henchman number 2. So, can I just say, well done, Mel. great. It's not.
Is he going to go for that new Ned Kelly film that's going out shortly?
I think his lifestyle's a bit busy at the moment. He's trying to run a business at the moment, and I think it consumes a fair bit of his time.
Right.
So between that and kids, you got to.
Time gets away.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, that's right.
So terrific movie. I don't think I gave it a score, did I?
Not yet. You haven't.
What have you given it?
I'm giving it 8, but again, I like the storyline. I like that it covers some topics, probably in a softer way for me, but still good.
Yep.
And I like the music.
Okay, I'm going to say something here. I tend to lift the scores for Australian films by about half a ratchet.
But you've lost half a ratchet for bad blood.
So it just gets
shots.
to go for a straight score, this one. I looked at this, and at the end of it, I was smiling. I thought it was quite an affecting film. It looked at aspects of our history that we don't like to face up to sometimes. So, in all of that, and of course the music was excellent.
And I mean, it's not even just Australia. I mean, they had the Martin Luther King thing as well.
Yes. So it's good for people being able to see other countries through our perspective again.
Well, as in
harkening back to Odd Angry Shot, which you gave it a complete pizzling.
No, but as in, the Aboriginal community are what they've got viewing this footage, and they're actually getting upset because they're like, well, this was a person who was actually standing up for all people.
I think it's very important for people who get a really hard time in this country and who are not recognised for their worth. I think it's great to see. For them to be able to see themselves in a positive life, being portrayed in a positive way, I think that's a very powerful thing. And not being Aboriginal myself, I'm only, I can only make guesses at
speculation.
This. Yeah, speculation. But, look, I thought it was really good. I think it gave it an 8 as well. Because I just thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a good film.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 as well. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. It's certainly, and it's affecting. It actually lifted my mood. I wasn't in a terrific mood.
The music emotionally lifted it too?
Possibly, but I just thought, I just like the emotional content of the characters in it. The one girl, the one who was the sexy one.
Yes, Miranda.
Yeah,
she's off play school.
Is she?
Yeah.
She was mildly irritating in this.
She's supposed to be.
Well, maybe. Well done her, because she just gave me the shits a little bit.
She's supposed to be. She's supposed to be that quirky, weird one.
Ditzy one, So, that was...
I was watching it and I went, hey, she's off play school. For those of you not from Australia, play school's like a little... It's a show for small children.
Yes, it's a kidlet show.
Where people sing about nursery rhymes and
Look,
stuff.
Here are square blocks. Here are round balls. That sort of thing.
Here's us painting.
Yes, we should do a podcast on that one day.
Place? No.
Open wide.
Thank you very much. But there you go. So 8 stars from Paul and 8 stars from me for the Sapphires.
Well done, Sapphires.
For Malcolm.
For Malcolm. Okay, what do we got for next week?
So next week, Cinematic Randomness, they've got a web page and a Facebook page,
right?
And they talk about random cinema stuff.
Yep.
Have put up Planet of the Apes for us to review.
Now he's a bit of a fan of the Planet of the Apes.
I know. I saw the pictures and I went, ooh.
Let's be really nice about the Planet of the Apes. I think he is to the Planet of the Apes what many people are to Star Wars.
Yes.
Yes. That's my wild stab in the dark.
So Planet of the Apes for Cinematic Randomness. And Paul's put up What Dreams May Come,
yes,
which has got Robin Williams in it.
The great man.
So I haven't seen it.
The greatest comic actor of the 20th/21st century. Yep, by a long way.
So that will be great. So
yep.
I'm looking forward to it. No, I just enjoyed our movies this week because it was all the music and cool stuff.
It's a bit of a tearjerker.
I'll keep my tissue box handy.
All right. It's a hard bottle film after all. Okay, so
I pick all the music ones and you pick all the teary ones.
Look, you can see her soul breaking right now.
There's their documentary team on the end of the couch.
All right, guys. Well, that was us. That's it for us this week.
Mm-hmm.
And we will catch you on the Reverb.
Are you trying to be cool?
Now, do you think I'm going to be able to achieve that?
No, I'm sorry, you're right.
You're right.
I hope you all have a great week and watch heaps of movies, and